Well, I'm propagating some more blackberries. Typically, this time of year, when it starts getting hot, this is not a great time in Texas. It's never been a great time for me for them to really take. But I did these about a week ago, and they look great. Still look great. I'm not misting them. I'm trying to remember to spray them once, maybe twice a day, but not more than twice. And it's been about a week, and by now, if they were going to fold up on me, they would have done folded up probably. So, what I did, most of these are tips, or the growing tip of a blackberry, the very tip, maybe the last top 6 inches or so. And some of these aren't. Some of these I cut back a little bit. That was the tip would be right there on that one. But anyway, cut them off, dipped them in some a different. I'm trying a different rooting hormone, and so I'll show you that. It's something my son-in-law gave me years ago, 6, 8, 10 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. And but anyway, these are looking great. I'll show you some more in just a minute that I dug up. And these are Primark Freedoms. These are off of my container blackberries that I'm doing. If you haven't seen what I'm doing with blackberries in containers, you need to watch. If you've ever wondered if you can grow blackberries in containers, let me tell you what, they are flourishing. They are jamming right now. So anyway, this is what I did. Just like I say, just one thing you have to do with the powder. This was a powder rooting hormone. One thing you have to do with it, if you just took the cutting, put the powder on it, it's like talcum powder or something like that, baby powder. And if you just stuck it down in there, as you stick it down in there, you're going to be wiping that off. You're going to be wiping that powder off, that rooting hormone off. So I just took a pen, a Sharpie, kind of reamed out a hole and dropped it down in the hole where it wasn't, where it had the rooting hormone remained on the cutting. And then I just packed around it, packed the dirt around it, and then watered it in real good to seal that soil up around each cutting. But anyway, I want to show you this, and I'll keep you apprised of how these are going. From the looks of it right now, they're going to take. I'm not going to check it for roots for quite a while. It'll be a month or so before I check it for roots. But long before that happens, if they're going to die, they're going to die, and they'll wilt on me, and they'll start turning black. And something else I did was take off a lot of the leaves. I didn't take off all of the leaves, but that might be. That's a lot of leaf too. You really don't want a lot of leaves. You want them to be able to catch some energy from the sun, but not so much that it takes a big root system to sustain those leaves, to keep those leaves nourished, because they don't have a root system right now. That's what you're trying to grow. You want to grow roots, not leaves. So I pinched off most of the leaves. I just realizing that I left a few, maybe too many. 2 or 3 leaves on each one. If you wanted to even come in there and cut a leaf, if you got a big leaf, just cut it in half or something like that. Just don't need a lot of leaf on it. Don't want a lot of leaf. So anyway, this is one way I did it, and let me show you another way. So here's another one. This wasn't as much of a propagation as it was a rescue. If you'll remember, I had a huge blackberry patch, and gophers got in there. Plus, I think they just aged out. I think blackberries do have a life expectancy, a lifespan. And so anyway, I went in there, and those are all gone. And I got from Bob Wells' nursery, I got a bunch of probably 1-year-old plants in 1-gallon containers. Good looking plants. They looked about like this when I put them in. I've got videos of it. Go back and watch my blackberries in containers videos, a bunch of them, several of them. So what I did, I had one surviving plant for the last couple of years that, even though I didn't water it, didn't do anything to it because my blackberry field was pretty much gone, but I had one Primark Freedom that the gophers didn't get. They just didn't. It was right next to a little bitty willow tree, an elm tree rather, that was coming up voluntarily, and it could be they don't like elm roots. I don't know, but anyway, for whatever reason, it left this blackberry plant alone. So I didn't want blackberries over there. anymore. I'm putting them in containers now. So I went over and dug up, and it was a pretty good sized root ball. I mean, just the root without the dirt and stuff on it. The root was big. It was a big chunk of root. And dug it up, stuck it down in here. This died, but I believe this is this year's cane that produced, well, it is, I know it is. This is this year's cane because it produced some berries, and I picked some berries off of it. So now that it's produced the berries, it's gonna die like all blackberries do. But look at the way these other two, those are going crazy. We got one right here coming up. That's gonna be a beautiful plant for next year. And then another one coming up there, and I believe I've got a third one coming out on the bottom there. So that's from just a chunk of root of that. It's probably a 4-year-old plant that had been in the ground 3 or 4 years, and I dug it up and just put the root down in this pot. I hated to just leave it alone. I mean, I hated to just throw it away. And I knew I wasn't going to water over there this year. I knew I wasn't going to take care of it, so I figured it would just die. And so I wanted to salvage it, wanted to rescue it. This is one way I did it. I'll cut this off. In fact, let me do that right now. I'll show you a video later when I go to prune out all my old canes in my containers. But this is one I had put the little doodads on. I'll just go in there and prune that off and pull that stick up. So that's what I've got left right now, and that is beautiful. Man, I would love to stick that in a big old 20-gallon wicking tub. Anyway, my third thing that I did, as I dug that other root up, a bunch of little pieces came off, just little pieces like this that had some green growth on it and had just a few hair roots, not many roots at all. So I stuck them in here. That one didn't make it. This one did. That one didn't. This one probably will. That one probably will. So this is, but again, the roots were very, very fine. They weren't much at all. So right now I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 good blackberry plants growing right now. I will probably expand my blackberry container garden, or I'm going to give some to my brother. He's wanting some blackberries, maybe my neighbor too. So anyway, I can't sell them because they're patented. So don't say, hey man, I want to buy some of them from. These are patented plants. You can't sell them, but you can, as I understand the law. You do your own research. You can propagate for your own purposes, and that's what I'm doing here. So everything looks good. I'm especially pleased with these because, again, this is not a good time of year. It's starting already to get warm, 85, 90 degrees. And typically that is not a good time to propagate blackberries in Texas. Maybe great for you, I don't know, but not in Texas. So just wanted to show you that. Got 3 things of propagation going on Prime Arc Freedom. I'm really beginning to really enjoy the Prime Arc Freedom, mainly because when you reach in there, you don't get just tore up by thorns. I am so happy not to have thorns anymore, because my entire blackberry field, 1/4 acre of blackberries, was all thorned. Almost all thorned. And I mean, they tore me up. So keep watching about pruning the blackberries, the old canes that die out. They have to be pruned out. I'll be doing that in another week or 2, so keep watching. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell down at the bottom. That will give you, when you ring the bell, it'll say, do you want all notifications? Say, heck yeah, I want all of them. And then you'll understand, and you'll know when I put up a video, and it may be something you are looking for, some information you are looking for. So here we go, man. We are propagating Prime Arc Freedom blackberries, and I'm loving it. They're looking good. All right, we're going.